Looking for a rotating light for a lighthouse? Or for a UFO? Look no further, I've got the light for you. This rotating light is very simple. You only need for your basic light 3 ingredients: some redstone dust, observers, lamps. I've marked out some circles so I can show you what to do. It's a good idea to mark it out in a contrast while you're getting used to the system. Once you've got it down pat, no worries. Now, yes, this is a square technically, but it's a Minecraft circle. What we're going to do first is place down our observers. So on these straights, we're placing observers, one behind the other, all the way around, ensuring that they all point in the same direction. You don't want one pointing opposite with signals going back into each other. Not a good idea. There we go. That's row 1. Row 2, jump on top and place an observer with its face downwards. You want the little red light pointing up. These observers are here to pick up the signal from these and shift it upwards into our lamps. 1 row of lamps right the way round. Now you can leave it like that, this is perfectly good, but signal from here goes into this, and this has enough power to power another row of lamps on top. So let's go for 2 high. That's our setup. What we need to do now is connect our circuits. So dot of redstone in front of this observer and behind that one. We're going to do that all the way around. And when I put it on this last one, the circuit will be complete and you'll see a signal go all the way around. There we go, 1 rotating light. That's pretty simple. What about when we start getting into larger shapes? And this is why if you're just starting, it pays to mark out your shape in a contrasting colour. Easy enough to start with. Let's do all our long straights. And now I could put an observer there and an observer there, and I could connect them with redstone and they'd send a signal round, but I want a light here as well. And there's no way an observer's going to pick up anything there. So we need to get strategic. Firstly, I'm going to place an observer on every corner, and I'm going to make sure that they're facing the right way. There we go. Now I'm going to place a dot of redstone on every remaining block in our shape that doesn't have an observer in it. And for the next level, same as the previous, observer on top of every observer. But we're also going to place an observer on top of the redstone dust. And because redstone is now toggleable, you'll have to shift click to place the observers on them. Stack up your lamps on top of them. And now we just go around and connect all our circuits with redstone dust. And there we are, 1 larger circle. Once you get into larger shapes, you can have things like this happen, where you're placing the redstone and you can't place it fast enough and you end up with multiple signals. You can play with that to get the signals spaced as you want, or knock out a piece of redstone, let the signal go out. Once the signal's entirely gone, replace it, and you'll have just 1 signal going round. 2 rows is all well and good. What if you want something higher? What if you want 3 lights or 4? These ones aren't getting powered because there's just enough power coming from this observer to power this lamp and have enough residual power to power the one above, but no higher. But we can make it 4 high, and we do that by building this upside down here. The easiest way is to place all your lamps on, then place a waste block on top of them all, and then your observers in exactly the same way that you did these bottom ones. Now, bear in mind which direction they're traveling in. If you want the lights to go in the same direction, top and bottom, make sure you've got the observers facing in the same direction. If you want them going opposite directions, of course, turn them round. Now that they're on, remove your waste blocks, come below your observers and place observers underneath so that they face down into your lamps. See how the arrow's pointing down? Now to finish off, you're going to need another block. I've got a slab just because it's little. You could use a full block if you wanted, but in these corners where you want to connect the circuits, you have to put another block so that you can put redstone on it. So redstone all the way around. Now if you want your lights to go round at the same time, you're going to have to be careful with placing it, and you may have to play around a little bit. When you knock the redstone out, let the light fully go out before you start placing it again. That's close enough for the moment. You can see the effect. All right, little bit of troubleshooting. You may sometimes find that your light gets faster, it catches up with itself, you come back and it's fully lit, there's no rotating, every lamp is lit. This is some sort of timing issue. I haven't seen this problem since 1.13.2. There are two ways you can approach this. The first is to ensure that your light is built entirely within one chunk. That does seem to minimize the occurrence. If that's not an issue and it's still doing it, the other way is knock out a piece of redstone, let the lamp go fully out, put the redstone back, and your light will be fine. Last but not least, lots of people have asked for an on-off switch, and I have viewer Dan Galloway to thank for this elegant solution. We're going to add a daylight sensor. It's simple enough. We want to have one of these observers pulled out in the day and pushed back in at night so that the circuit is only complete at night time. Pick the observer you want to be pulled out, 2-block gap and an observer with the little red tail facing towards your lamp, repeater in front of that, daylight sensor in front of the repeater, and behind it a sticky piston on its side. Now it's daytime and the circuit's on. Change your daylight sensor to night, it'll break the circuit, and then when night comes, the daylight sensor will pick it up and the circuit will be complete. And there you have your on-off switch. If you want to manually do the on-off, it's even simpler. Lever. And there it goes off. I don't like all this sticking out so far. When I build mine, I build it off to one side. And you can, of course, build it underneath or on top. Just ensure when you do that the daylight sensor has got clear access to the sky. So if you have a roof on your lighthouse, run your line out one further so that again the daylight sensor has clear access to sky. There we have it, rotating lights.